The justice system is a long and winding road, and for the families of victims, a cold case is an agonizing, open wound that never truly heals. But as forensic science evolves and technology advances, the impossible becomes possible. Today, we are looking at 5 of the most famous, seemingly unsolvable cold cases in criminal history that baffled investigators for decades, only to be finally solved when the perpetrators thought they had completely gotten away with it. Number 5. The tragic murder of Jay Cook and Tanya Van Queilenborg. In November 1987, a young Canadian couple vanished while traveling to Seattle, Washington, to run errands. Days later, their bodies were discovered miles apart in the Pacific Northwest. Tanya had been brutally assaulted and shot, while Jay had been beaten and strangled. Despite finding the killer's DNA and launching a massive international investigation, the case quickly went cold and remained unsolved for over 3 decades. But the advent of genetic genealogy changed everything. In 2018, using the exact same technique that caught the Golden State Killer, investigators uploaded the suspect's DNA to a public genealogy database. They built a family tree that led them straight to a 55-year-old truck driver named William Earl Talbot II. A police officer secretly collected a discarded paper cup dropped by Talbot, matching his DNA to the crime scene, and finally bringing justice to a grieving family 31 years later. Number 4. The mysterious disappearance of Lonsdale. Wait, let me cover the Somerton Man instead. Number 4. The baffling mystery of the Somerton Man. On December 1, 1948, the body of an impeccably dressed, unidentified man was found slumped against a seawall on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He carried no identification, all the labels had been meticulously removed from his clothing, and a strange, hidden pocket contained a scrap of paper reading Tamam Shud, Persian for "It is finished." The case became one of Australia's most profound mysteries, sparking endless theories of Cold War espionage, secret codes, and unrequited love. For over 70 years, his identity remained a complete mystery. However, in 2022, an Australian researcher and a US genealogy expert used DNA extracted from hairs preserved by police to finally give the Somerton Man a name. By building out a family tree of over 4,000 people, they identified him as Carl Charles Webb, a 43-year-old electrical engineer from Melbourne. While the exact circumstances of his death remain mysterious, solving his identity was a monumental breakthrough in a legendary case. Number 3. The devastating story of the boy in the box. In February 1957, the severely beaten, malnourished body of a young boy, estimated to be between 4 and 6 years old, was found wrapped in a cheap plaid blanket inside a J.C. bassinet box in the woods of Philadelphia. The boy's face was plastered on posters across the city with his gas bills, but no one ever stepped forward to claim him. He became known as America's Unknown Child, and the heartbreaking case haunted investigators for generations. The case remained open and intensely investigated for 65 long years. Finally, in December 2022, using advanced forensic genetic genealogy and DNA extracted from his exhumed remains, Philadelphia police announced they had successfully identified the boy as 4-year-old Joseph Augustus Sorelli. While the exact details of his murder and the identities of his killers remain under active investigation, giving Joseph his name back was a profound victory for a city that never forgot him. Number 2. The terrifying reign of the Golden State Killer. From 1974 to 1986, a masked predator terrorized the state of California, committing at least 13 murders, over 50 rapes, and more than 100 burglaries. Known by many names, including the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, he would meticulously stalk his victims, break into their homes in the middle of the night, and inflict unimaginable psychological and physical torture. Then, he simply vanished. For 40 years, he was the most notorious unidentified serial killer in American history. In 2018, investigators pioneered the use of consumer DNA databases for criminal investigation, uploading his DNA profile to GEmatch. By tracing the family trees of distant relatives, they identified the killer as Joseph James D'Angelo, a 72-year-old former police officer living a quiet life in a Sacramento suburb. His arrest and subsequent guilty plea brought a definitive, stunning conclusion to a 4-decade nightmare. Number 1. The horrific kidnapping and murder of Maria Ridulph. In December 1957, 7-year-old Maria Ridulph was playing in the snow outside her home in Sycamore, Illinois, when she was approached by a young man who called himself Johnny. Her friend ran inside to get mittens, and when she returned, Maria and the man were gone. Maria's remains were found 5 months later. The massive FBI investigation interviewed a neighborhood teenager named John Tessier, but he provided an alibi, claiming he was traveling to enlist